Right after the Turkish Central Bank lowered its interest rate by another 0.25, the same as last month, reporters asked Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu what he thought. The question was important because President Tayyip Erdoğan has been asking the bank to lower interest rates further, hoping that this would help the economy to recover. Erdogan has been questioning the concept of an independent central bank from the start and thinks the elected government should be in full command of it. Perhaps as a preemptive move to calm the possible fury of Erdogan, Davutoğlu's answer implied something like not enough, but okay. The markets hoped that answer put an end to the row, at least until next month's meeting of the Central Bank Board, and the value of the Turkish lira recovered slightly, after a continuous drop against the US dollar. But then came a thunderstorm from Erdogan. During an address to small business owners on February 25, he slammed the central bank very harshly. Its independence is only applicable regarding us. It is only independent when taking decisions against our expectations, he said. Then, without directly giving the name of central bank governor Erdogan, he questioned whether the bank was independent from the Turkish government but dependent on certain other sources. He did not elaborate who those other sources could be, but his words reminded one of the international interest rate lobby repeatedly mentioned during the Gezi Park protests of June 2013. Erdogan's speech was followed by even heavier words from Erdogan's chief economy advisor Yiğit Bulut against BA and Deputy Prime Minister Ali Babacan, who has been running the economic policies of ruling Justice and Development Party, AK Party, governments since day one in 2002. After this, the lira immediately plunged against dollar again. Prime Minister Davutoğlu then held a 2.5-hour meeting with Babacan, who is known to be close to BA. Official sources told the media that there was nothing wrong with this, as it was a scheduled meeting and the two discussed a series of meetings between Davutoğlu and investors in the US on his planned trip later this year. Speaking in Parliament on the morning of February 26, Energy Minister Taner Yıldız had to deny the rumors in Parliament that either Babacan or BA had resigned, Babacan being known as BA's protector in the cabinet. Then, as Erdogan and Davutoğlu were preparing for the National Security Board, MGK, meeting, the news hit markets in Istanbul and political circles in Ankara that BA had not come to his office that morning. The central bank's press office said he had a minor health problem, an apparent first in his 10 years at the helm. For his part, main opposition Social Democratic Republican People's Party, CHP, head Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu yesterday said that's enough. The president should not put his nose into everything. He should leave the government's job to the government and the central bank's job to the central bank, he said. The fact is that Erdogan's intervention in daily affairs is not limited to the central bank. He also recently announced that he was going to convene the cabinet on March 9, for a second time, after the first time on January 19. As soon as Davutoğlu announced two economic reform packages for transparency and urbanization in January, Erdogan slammed them in a meeting with AK party executives, in the absence of Davutoğlu himself, who has so far failed to submit them to parliament. Erdogan and Davutoğlu's difference of opinion on the resignation of former National Intelligence Organization, MT, Chief Hakan Fidan, to become a candidate for the AK party in the June 7 elections, was made public by Erdogan himself, which had the secondary effect of slowing down the Kurdish peace process. Right after Davutoğlu's PR campaign following the Turkish military's recent Süleyman Soytum operation in Syria, Erdogan announced a second cabinet meeting. Perhaps he was trying to show everyone who's boss. Two veterans of AK party politics, Deputy Prime Minister Bülent Arın and Parliament Speaker Cemil Çiçek, have both stopped giving public statements after being repeatedly refuted or snubbed by Erdogan in public. The AK party's deputy heads and many other ministers are also in deep silence too, only raising their voice to slam either the Gülenists, the opposition parties, or both. Does Erdogan want everyone but himself to shut up? That question could soon be suggesting itself to Davutoğlu, if it has not so far.